How many of you would love to learn about psychic protection, but you don't want to spend all of your time on the internet searching for countless and countless hours for information that just makes you feel overwhelmed? This is for those of you who want a one-stop, quick, step-by-step guide. If you want to figure out what you can do in your life to feel psychically protected, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Sari Cecilia. I am a psychic healer and I have been for over 20 years. I've had the pleasure of studying with Buddhist lamas in monasteries and have been to countless psychic retreats. Today I'm going to show you about psychic tools, how you can use them, how you can understand their triggers, what brings them on for you in your life, and we're going to do all of this by having fun. Now, you've probably got your own story, or you've got a friend's story about negative energy, psychic energy, or energy around a house. I want to share with you my story. A friend of mine and myself, when we were in uni, we moved into this gorgeous, huge house. It was massive. It had stained glass windows, bay windows, and it was just beautiful. And we couldn't believe how cheap it was. We couldn't believe that we actually got it. That night when we first moved in, we realized why we got it and why it was so cheap. It used to be a hospice for World War II veterans. It was full. There was just the two of us there, but the house was full of spirits, of old men shuffling up and down the corridor, sad, depressed, feeling remorseful. You could feel the heaviness, the tiredness, and they would be in the room as well. They were in the bedrooms. Some nights I'd wake up and they would be leering, looking at me sleep at the foot of my bed. I could just make out their shadows. And so we had many conversations, my friend and I, of whether we should stay or go. But the house was seriously, it was so beautiful, polished floors. We decided to stay. Now, as I mentioned before, I have been on a lot of psychic retreats. And while we moved in, a little while later, I went to one of my retreats. And when I came back, my friend was very depressed. She started drinking a lot more. She wasn't going to her university classes. She was a photographer and she wasn't taking photographs. She was spiraling down. And I wondered, my instinct was telling me that a spirit had attached itself to her and was sort of latching onto her own sadness and her own depression. And I wanted to do something about it. I'd just been on a retreat and I learned a meditation technique that I tried at home. What I did was I closed my eyes and I imagined a golden light coming from my heart, the warmth and glow of a golden light, and I slowly started to grow it and grow it bigger, gently protecting me, keeping me warm, keeping me safe, until that golden light grew as big as the room. I was doing this in my bedroom at home. And I just prayed and hoped that it would protect us and keep us safe. And I noticed that night that there were no spirits in my room. They were still in the corridor, shuffling up and down, but they weren't actually in my room. So something had changed, something had shifted. And that's why I created a guide for psychic and energetic protection. I started to figure out and see that there were so many stories similar to mine about negative energy, spirits in homes, and a lot of people were experiencing things very similar. I started to figure out there were some tools that I could use, things that I had learned. I started to experiment with these tools, seeing what worked, and making lots and lots of mistakes. Once I'd put a kind of toolbox together of psychic protection, I got to see that it didn't have to be complicated. And people could use it. My friend started using it. Her depression started to clear. She was happier. She was taking beautiful photographs again. How much time and effort would you save by learning about psychic protection right on your phone? Learning step by step and in the right order. Instead of searching the internet for countless and countless hours, searching for things and not knowing what to do with this information. So what this is a step-by-step guide, an online video course where it's just you and me, and I'll take you through the steps of psychic protection. so you can begin your journey, and you can get started for as little as 29 Australian dollars. Now, what I need you to do is, if you're watching this on your phone, is close down the video. The video will reduce onto a page, and on the bottom of that page is a big purple button is a big purple button that says start now. I want you to press that button, and we're going to get started, and I'll see you inside the course.